Hey, it's Jason. Thanks for joining me here at the Hardy Life Outdoors. This is my new YouTube channel, but I'm not new to YouTube. I've been around for over 3 years, have over 150 videos on YouTube, with a lot of them being pretty popular. I'm in the process of migrating things from my old channel to the new channel, so you're going to see a lot of that content come over here soon, as well as a lot of new content about all the things that I do outdoors. Check out the content. If you like it, please hit like, share the channel with your friends, and subscribe so that you know when new content comes out. I appreciate you stopping and hope you like the content. Thanks. I'll see you soon. So for today, my plan is to talk about negotiating your best price on your John Deere tractor purchase. I've got about 10 things I'm going to cover, and I made a few notes here because I had a number that I wanted to address. But I just want to talk about some of the experience that I've had, both with negotiating tractors, cars, houses, a variety of things. Some of this is basic negotiation tactics. Some of it's things that I learned while negotiating on my tractors. So I'm just going to run through those things. Hopefully these will be beneficial as you think about buying a tractor and how to negotiate the best price and get the best deal for yourself. So the first thing is, you might hear people talk about a win-win situation. Think about that negotiation and really what you're looking for out of the end result. First of all, they want you to buy. The dealership is looking for you to buy, and you want to leave there feeling like you got a good deal on the tractor that you're buying. So you need to go into it, that's the real goal. I'm going to come out of here with what I want, and they got what they want, and there's a happy medium there that we can both live with. So that's the win-win approach. The other thing I would say is go in and recognize that everything is negotiable. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I can't tell you how many times I've negotiated things, and I've talked to people after the fact, and they've said to me, I didn't know you can negotiate that. And my answer is everything's negotiable. The only thing that anyone can say during a negotiation is yes or no. So you really got very little to lose by asking for things. So everything's negotiable, even if it doesn't seem like it is. As you go in, recognize that the dealer has the advantage, at least when it comes to the numbers. He knows what his cost is. He knows what other people have paid for this tractor. And he's got a computer there that every time you go back and forth, he can see the bottom line. He knows how much money he's making and what his margins are. So just recognize that they do have the advantage to some extent. And this is what they do every day. They sell tractors. They buy and sell tractors. So they're experts at it. So you may do it once or twice in your lifetime. They clearly have the advantage. But where the advantage shifts your direction is you don't have to buy today. So you can always keep in mind that you can walk away and be prepared to do that. It may mean that you walk away today and you come back another day, but that's part of how you shift the advantage in your favor, is recognizing this is not something I have to have. I can wait, I can buy it another time, and that's where you have the real advantage. So that's my first tip, is go into this thinking about win-win. What's the end result? You want a tractor, they want to sell you a tractor. You guys are at least there for the same reason. Second thing, go in educated. Make sure that you have as much information as you can come up with before you ever go in there. So start off by knowing what you need. If you're going in there for a 1025R or a compact tractor, make sure you know, what are your applications? Are you going to mow? Are you going to till? Are you planning on lifting things? What are you doing with that tractor? Don't go in there and let them upsell you to a higher model or a bigger tractor than you need just by talking about all the great cool features and functions in that next tractor up. Know what you need so that you're prepared to go in and say, I don't need to lift 2,000 pounds. I don't need to be able to do this. I'm tilling 2 acres. This is the size tractor I want. Go in there and don't let them upsell you. Spend some time price shopping. Know your numbers when you go in. I recommend going out to the John Deere website. You can build your own tractor out there. You can configure exactly what you want. Go in, configure that, make sure you've got the numbers. That gives you a starting place. That's list price. I've gone in with those numbers and I've had them start with the tractor at a higher price, or I guess it's a higher price typically. And when I pull them out, I'm like, look, this is where John Deere starts at. You can't start $1,000 higher than what the list price is on the website. So know what that number is from them. Start early in your research and watch websites and watch the deals that are out there. Watch your local dealer. See what they do. I shopped for close to a year for my tractor. Wasn't sure I wanted to buy, but I was watching deals to see what kind of deals, what kind of packages, what kind of financing were they offering, making sure that when I went in there, I knew that, you know, 2 months ago you sold this tractor for 20% off, or whatever deal they were offering. I wanted to have that in my pocket and go in educated. Shop large dealer websites. There's large dealers, you know, I don't want to give anyone a plug, but in our area there's one called Ag Pro, and I know they're all over the US. If you shop their websites, you can see what are they offering in Florida, what are they offering in North Carolina, what are they offering in Ohio. They may have different offers in different markets that you can ask them, you know, why can't I get that offer? So shop those. They also have a huge inventory of new tractors, last year's models, and used tractors. Look and make sure you know what the numbers are for those. So if you're looking at a brand new tractor and they're offering a used one or last year's model, make sure you understand where those numbers are and you can talk intelligently about that. When you know your numbers, that puts you in a great spot when they come out with their first offer. You can look and say, look, you know, I know it's selling this price somewhere else. So go in, know your numbers. Third item, understand how the dealer makes money. The dealer is not just making money on the sale of this tractor today. So when you look at it, when he sells this piece of equipment, he obviously wants to make money on that, and he wants to do as well as possible. But part of the reason they can be so aggressive on these machines is because they're making money in other ways. They expect you to return to buy attachments. They get manufacturers rebates. So if John Deere has a bunch of 1025Rs in inventory, they can provide rebates to the dealers so the dealers can sell them cheaper and they can move more inventory. So they've got money coming in that direction. They offer financing. You can say, you know, at 0% financing, that they're not making money. There's people who end up financing those things for extended terms. They may renew their financing. They're making money on financing. If they weren't, they wouldn't do it. John Deere offers insurance on your loan. So if anything happens to your tractor, for a couple extra dollars a month, they can insure the tractor so that the loan gets paid off and your tractor's covered. I actually purchased it on mine. I think it was $2 or $3 a month, and that was a good deal for me. So they make money that way. Parts and service. They expect that once you sell that tractor, you've got a relationship with them, you're going to come back to them and you're going to buy parts or bring it in for service. So there are a lot of ways that they make money on that machine. So when they tell you they're getting beat up on the price of the actual tractor, know that they've got other sources of revenue where they can make money. The dialogue, and you know, there's all kinds of sales reps out there. There are good salespeople, there are bad salespeople, there are slimy salespeople, there are very trustworthy salespeople. And I don't want this to come off as any kind of jab at the good salespeople that are out there, but recognize that this is what they do every day. They have a dialogue that they use, and part of it is, you know, they're trying to get you moving forward. They want to create that want with you. They want you to want the tractor. They want you to take it today. You know, you'll hear them say things, you know, I've never sold it this cheap to anybody, you know, I've never seen my management come back with this kind of deal. So be prepared for those kinds of things. The thing you can do is go in prepared with your own dialogue. You know, when the price isn't what you want, you know, they're playing good guy, bad guy. The sales guy is typically the good guy. The bad guy is management. It's the finance person that they're going to. You can play good guy, bad guy too. You know, you're the good guy. You know, I'd love to pay that much. My wife would kill me if I came home and I'd spent that much money. You know, I've gone through my budget, and the reality is I can't afford more than $250 a month. And that gives you that out, that is something that, you know, I can't, it's not me. It's, you know, I've looked and I just simply can't afford it. So go in, make sure that you know, what's your story and how are you going to position yourself, because that salesperson, his job is to sell you a tractor. Again, not a knock on salesmen. I work with salespeople. I'm in marketing. I just know, you know, how people talk. There's a lot of psychology that goes into sales and making that sale happen. Financing is the next thing, and that's one of the big advantages when you're buying from the dealer, whether you're buying new or used, is that they have access to financing for you. Because they make money on the financing, that's another area that you need to think about. When you go in, anytime I go in to purchase something, I go in, whether I plan on paying cash or financing it, with the story that I plan on financing it. I want them to think they've got that additional revenue stream. As the deal moves along, I can let them know that, you know what, I'm thinking about paying cash for this. I don't know which way I'm doing. I've told reps before when they've asked, you know, are you paying cash or financing? I've looked them right in the eye and said, you know, what's most beneficial to you? How am I going to get the best deal? So if he tells me, you know, if I get a cash deal, I get a bonus, I can pay cash. If he tells me by you financing it, I can get an extra bonus, I can do that. I can do whatever works best for him and make sure that, you help me out, I'll help you out. Oftentimes you can get these loans, you can pay them off the next month with no penalty. So know that that financing is an option. Recognize that their financing is very flexible. John Deere does their own financing. They finance these 1025Rs. They finance $250,000. I don't even know what the biggest tractor is they finance. They're financing with farmers. They're very flexible in how they do their payment plans. Everything is flexible. Know that the financing is flexible. 0% for 60 months, could be 0 for 72, could be 0 for 84, whatever you want. If you need more time, if your payment's too high, ask them to give you more months. All they have to do is go back to their finance department and talk to them. I know they will do this. I've seen people do it. They've gone into a 0% for 60 and they've come out with 72 or 84 months. All you have to do is ask. Not all dealerships will ask or will allow it, but it doesn't hurt to ask. So my message there around the financing, know that there's a ton of flexibility there. Ask for what you want. If for some reason you're not qualifying for their 0% and they come back with a 2% or 3%, whatever it is, negotiate that rate. Let them know, hey, what if I put this much money down? Would that help with the rate? So, don't let them dictate terms to you. Know that they're negotiable. Next item is bundling. If I go in just to buy a tractor, they've got one way to make money off of me. So go in with the idea of everything you want to buy and create your own bundle of what you want. Hey, I'm buying a tractor, I'm buying a tiller, I'm buying a brush hog, I want the loader, I want the mid mower. Figure out what your bundle is, because when they've got 5 or 6 things that they're making money on, they can give you bigger discounts, because at the end of the day they're driving a bigger purchase and more revenue dollars. So go into it, bundle up what you can. I also recommend the bundling with the 0% financing. If you think in the next 5 years you're going to add an attachment, consider adding it into the loan, because 2 years from now when you go back to buy that tiller, you're going to have to pay cash for it versus having it all bundled into that loan. So don't get in over your head, but consider, what am I going to want over the next several years? Look at putting it into that 0% financing. Anytime I can buy something with free money, I like to do it. Beware of dealer bundles. One of the things that you'll see when they start bundling is they want you to spend more, and oftentimes their bundle is very fixed. So they may be giving you, I've seen them with they throw in a middle buster. Hey, that's our bundle, it's a middle buster. Maybe they've got more middle busters than they know what to do with. I don't particularly have a use for a middle buster, so it's not a great deal for me. But they've packaged the whole thing up, and the best deal you can get might be with that, but now they've got you spending a couple extra $100 because that's the only deal I have. It's got the middle buster. It's going to cost you an extra $200. So beware of those bundles. That's how they suck you into spending more money on things that you may or may not want. The other thing it does, it makes it very hard for you to compare the deal you're getting with them to what you're getting at another John Deere dealership or at a competing dealership with a competing brand. So beware of bundles. It's something where they can hide margin. It's something where they can move things that might be slow movers. It's a way that they get you to spend extra money. So build your own bundle, go in, know what you want, and don't get sucked into buying stuff that you don't need. Next up, as we're talking about the bundling and the pricing, I want to share some of my experience with pricing. I went to multiple dealerships. First of all, I started off on the phone. So know that you can call these dealerships. They will give you a quote over the phone. They'll fax you one, they'll email you one. Make the phone call several in your area. I was fortunate that I had 3 different dealerships that were, one was local to my house, one was local to my cabin, and one was halfway to the cabin. So I had 3 different dealerships, 3 different owners of those franchises that I could negotiate with. So I called each of them and I asked for quotes. I told them exactly what I wanted. What I found was that they all priced very different. So the local dealership, they held the price of the tractor very firm, but they were giving heavy discounts on the attachments. So obviously they don't want to, that's part of their strategy, is maybe they didn't want me coming back throwing out attachments and saying I'll take the tractor at that low price, but they discounted attachments, not the main tractor. Others did it, there were various mixes of how they did their discounting. So my recommendation is, take a look at it, add it all up and see what here's the list price, here's the final price, what % off have they given you. One of the dealers that I worked with, they gave me my list price, they gave me discounted price, and I went back to the guy and I said, it looks like, everything's about 18% off, and he was shocked that I had come up with it. He goes, who told you that? I I did the math. And he said, that's our floor. That's where we're allowed to go to. So, and he actually said that's where John Deere sets the floor for us. I don't know enough about the ins and outs. Surely someone that watches this will be a salesman for John Deere and say, yeah, that's not true. All I know is that rep was very surprised when I threw out 18%, but it set a bar for me for looking at everything and saying, let's see how we are in terms of 18%. I went back to negotiate my 4052R this last year, and I actually started at 80%. I said, not 80%, 20% off, and figured we'd work our way up. The dealership had changed hands. They weren't as aggressive, and I didn't end up buying from them. But, be prepared to go in with a price request that is really aggressive, and get comfortable asking for a ridiculous price. If it costs $10,000 and you don't want to spend more than $85,000, don't go off from $85,000. Go off from $7,500. Be comfortable making an aggressive offer. You just never know what they'll take, and when they come back, only move up a little bit. Don't jump halfway. This isn't a halfway game. This is a game of they come down, you come down multiple times, back and forth until you get to a price that you can both live with. So, my experience, I got 18% off. Be prepared to go in and ask for a ridiculous price. You never know. Someone may take it. All they can say is no. Next item, shop dealers against each other. I just talked about that. I won't cover that again. They will give you quotes by phone, and just call them and ask them. So there's no harm done by calling multiple dealers and asking for multiple quotes. So take your time, do it, and see what comes back. Next recommendation is shop brands. Even if you have no intention of shopping or buying a Kubota or a Massey Ferguson or a Mahindra, take a look at their website. Look at what their comparable tractor is. See how it's priced. Look at what financing programs they have available. Be prepared to share some of that information with the sales guy that you're talking to. So as you're walking through stuff and you say, hey, I'd like to have this, and they come back with a price, Massey Ferguson throws that in. Massey Ferguson does this. Mahindra has this financing. So you've got that in your pocket. They at least know that you've looked around, and let them know. I haven't made a final decision. That I'm talking to other dealers. As a matter of fact, I'm meeting with Kubota tomorrow. So put a little pressure on them. Make them push for the sale and do things to how do I close this deal today so that you don't go meet with Kubota tomorrow. So shop the various brands. And then my last tip is, and this is a term I learned years ago in a negotiation class. It's called nibbling, and that is at the end of the negotiation. You've gotten to the point where I am buying this tractor. We've settled on a price. Everybody thinks that we're good to go, and now's your opportunity to ask for something else, something little. I just want a little more. I'm really happy, but I just thought, can I get a hat? Can I get a sweatshirt? I asked for a hat, and they took, well, those are actually a different department. That's not my problem. That's for you to figure out how to go get a $20 hat off the shelf. You can do it. You guys can figure it out. We're not gonna let this deal fall apart over a hat, are we? Service department credit. Hey, can you give me my 50-hour service for free? No. Oh, how about a discount? Can you give me a discount on it? Think about small add-ons. So is there a light package? Is there something small that you'd like? How about one of those turn knobs? Can you put one of those on for me? Ask for little things. It might be a $10 item, it might be a $50 item, it might be a $100 item. Again, all they can do is tell you no. Think about the parts department. Hey, can I get my air filter, oil filter, everything I need for my 50, since I can't get a free 50-hour check, can I get all the things that I need so I can perform it myself? Ask for stuff. Last thing is insurance. I talked about, I purchased the insurance. Ask them to throw the insurance in. It's $3 or $4 a month. Again, it's a small item. The key message I have is, when you go in, be prepared to negotiate. Recognize you're negotiating with somebody who does this every day. They've got all the information on their side. I went in, I came away with this. It was a very friendly negotiation. It took a little bit of time to get it done, but I was very happy with it, and I suspect the dealership did okay on the whole deal. The key is, go in, know what you want, don't let them upsell you, and have some kind of strategy of your own. So those are my tips for negotiating your best price on your tractor. I think the key message is everything is negotiable. they're in the position of strength when it comes to numbers. You're in the position of strength of saying, I don't have to buy today. So I hope that was helpful. Please take a minute, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe.